All right, listen up, y'all.
Greetings, everybody. This is your host and educator, Mr. Abdullah, with another episode of All Things Education Official. Please subscribe, comment, like, and share. Subscribe, comment, like, and share. Whichever order you like to do it, please make sure you do it. Put us in the algorithm. We're giving you education from a foundational Black American male's perspective. And today we're going to talk about hair discrimination in Mont, Belvieu, Texas.
Tonight, the lawyer for a Barbers Hill High School student tells us his family is considering a discrimination lawsuit against the district after their son was placed in-school suspension again today over his locks. Matt Doherty joining us live with the latest update on this ongoing fight. Matt?
Ellen, we first told you about the high school student in Mont Belvieu earlier this month. That was only days after the Crown Act was passed by the state. Now that new law is being put to the test. At Barbers Hill High School, boys aren't allowed to have long hair.
It was August 31st. They put him in ISS because of his hair. They said that when let down, his hair is below his eyebrows, which they never seen his hair let down because, as you can see from pictures, from all the pictures, his hair is always up. So they just basically picking with my child.
Doresha George says her son has spent more than 2 weeks in-school suspension over his hair so far this year. According to the student handbook, Barbers Hill ISD prohibits male students from having hair that extends below their eyebrows, earlobes, or the tops of their t-shirt collars. And when 17-year-old Daryl George wears his locks up at school, his mother says he's in compliance with the dress code. But fresh off the latest suspension, when Daryl returned to campus this morning, he was suspended once again.
He's going to go to school every day. He's going to go to school in dress code, not violating a dress code, and we're just going to have to take it one day at a time, one step at a time.
KHOU 11 reached out to the district for comment tonight. We have not heard back, but the Associated Press reports that longtime Barbers Hill ISD Superintendent Greg Poole says, quote, "When you are asked to conform and give up something for the betterment of the whole, there is a psychological benefit." Now, the school district contends that its dress code is legal. They say it concerns hair length and which is not covered under the Texas Crown Act. Now, this isn't the first time that the school district has been in the spotlight for this issue. If you'll remember, back in 2020, it prevented a student from going through graduation, walking during graduation, because of the same issue. Len, back to you.
All right, Matt, thank you.
As you can see, they discussed in this video, outside of the blatant disrespect, discrimination, and subjugation of the brother, they talked about the Crown Act, which was supposed to be enacted to help eliminate this type of discrimination, not only in the workplace, but in the school. It says the Crown Act protects against hair-based discrimination. Discrimination against Black people continues to be a pervasive element of American workplace and schools. While the Civil Rights Act of 1964 added protections against race-based discrimination, it did not include protections against discrimination based on phenotypical markers that manifest race, such as hair texture. The Crown Act strengthens protections against hair-based discrimination for employees and students. It does so by expanding the definition of race in employment, housing, and education and other laws to include definitions of race as signified through hair, thereby protecting workers and students from hair-based discrimination. Well, the fact that we have to have the Crown Act does nothing but reestablish the fact that we know white supremacy is pervasive and prevails across this land. And as I have preached on every video about the sanctity of our children and giving them the safety that they need, this is just another testament to why we need to create our own schools. We need to know right now, kind of important, where was the Crown Act passed? Because we do know that the Crown Act is available to us as foundational Black Americans, but we don't know where. But right now, according to EPI.org, the Crown Act is a critical tool to fight discrimination. The Crown Act is not in all 50 states, even though it should be. It is not. It is only in the following states: Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Illinois, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Nebraska, Nevada, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, Oregon, Tennessee, Texas, Virginia, and the state of Washington. It is there, and if your state if you're listening and your state was not included in that list, just be aware that depending upon your culture, depending upon your lifestyle, you or your child may be subject to subjugation or discrimination based upon your hair. The mere fact that we're even having this conversation in 2024 is ridiculous, but we got to understand, if you listen to the video in section, I think it was at the 1 minute and 58 second mark, there was a statement by the superintendent, Dr. Gregory Poole. He stated that there is a psychological benefit. Well, the benefit is purely for the members of the dominant society and those that control that school district. We know that Texas is a conservative, it's a red state, and they do maintain a lot of their conservative values, but a lot of those conservative values are outside of the realm of those for what we call minoritized group, but most in particular for this channel, for Black people. They may see that the subjugation of Black students is still a thing, and that the justice system that they still benefit from is still in effect as it pertains to Black students. The question remains, how does hair length really affect education? The answer, it doesn't. We know this, they know this. It's not about the hair. It's not about neatly pressed, dressed, maintained, because as you can see in the video, his hair was neatly maintained and has been since August. His mother and his lawyer has stated that he has not kept his hair below his earlobes. And this is not the first time. This is actually the continuation of what I call the lock saga. So let's watch the take given by a student who went through similar acts in the same school district in 2020.
Barbers Hill, they're very strong-willed. I'll give them that. They're very stubborn. They will do what they want to do regardless of what anybody tells them. Whether it be the Crown Act, whether it be me, whether it be anybody. They're going to do what they want to do unless they're made to do opposite.
DeAndre Arnold should know. In 2020, he too was suspended over his hair, then helped trigger passage of the Crown Act. It bans discrimination against hair commonly associated with race.
As you can see, he's fully aware he's an adult now. He's graduated from high school, but he was not allowed to attend graduation because of it. But the court weighed in to state that no, they could not discriminate against him because of hair. But now Mount Belvieu is doubling down and saying, yes, we can. And as you see, he made the statement that, as he can see, they won't change unless they're made to. Okay, regarding the article, there was an article written in KHOU, which is, I guess it's K Houston 11. Court rules Barber Hills high school student does not have to cut his locks. The federal court ruled the district's hair length policy that required Caden Bradford to cut his locks was discriminatory. This was in 2020. Here we are in 2024. They're still suffering the same discrimination. And as you can see, the superintendent has doubled down and we see no end in sight. This is a testament to the ongoing issues that Black people suffer in every area of life. Black people in general, Black Americans in particular, they face in confines of educational spaces, which are supposed to be safe spaces for our children, and for that matter, any children. We must, as a community, create our own institutions of learning, be it private, be it homeschooling hubs. They need to be created. I work in public education, but I'm a proponent for people that pull their schools and put them in a better situation so they can be more culturally in line with their community, so they can grow and they can learn, because we need to understand that when we create our own institutions, we are able to educate, indoctrinate, and train our children and make it a surefire way for their safety and their success. Once again, this is another episode of All Things Education Official. Please subscribe, comment, like, and share. Put us in the algorithm. Let people know that over on this channel, we're discussing education from foundational Black American males' perspectives, in particular, Black people in general. And once again, you are dismissed.
Yeah! You are all expurgated.